Here are three things I learned this week while reading history, featuring a book called Soccernomics by Simon Cooper and Stefan Szymanski. Number one is women's soccer was fully banned by the British FA in 1921, and many countries followed suit afterwards, including my place of residence, Canada, which banned it in 1922, and Norway, which banned it in 1931. Now, I knew that there was a ban on women's football back in the day, but I didn't realize that it was literally within this century, and I also didn't realize how influential women's football was at the time that it was being banned, because it was obviously a direct threat to the men's game at the time. And it's also really interesting because these countries are some of the countries where women's football is really thriving now, and I love to see it. Number two was a fact that I pulled from the chapter about whether or not having a sports team or a tournament in your city actually brings the economic impact that they're sold to have bring. And according to Simon Cooper and Stefan Szymanski, that's not necessarily the case. Specifically, if a club or a team wants to build a stadium in a city, the economic impact that it is sold as having is actually nowhere close to the economic impact of building something like a hospital, a movie theater, or a mall, which would bring in so much more local revenues. And the last thing I learned is not really from the book, it's more of a personal takeaway. And that takeaway is I need to continue to start reading more narrative nonfiction sports books and adding them back into my reading diet. It's been such a pleasure rediscovering this genre because it melts together so many interesting parts of history, but in a more digestible way because it's dealing with a lighter topic, and that is sports.